Welcome to this week's episode of Tech Talk Live. I'm your host, Michael Amargon. And with us this week, we have, and
for the third time in a row,
sound. With us this week, we have our co-hosts, Vicquell.
Hello.
And Chris.
Hello.
So, jumping into the meat of it, since we're already kind of late due to technical difficulties. Vicky, I'm hearing that Apple is delaying both iOS and macOS. What's happening there?
Well, yeah, they're supposed to be delaying it to, they're delaying it with new features to fix the issues that they already have currently with iOS 11 and macOS High Sierra. Though High Sierra didn't really get like a major update, but there were a lot of security issues with High Sierra last year. So they're delaying the new OS this year to fix those issues. So we're not gonna have like any big massive, it's rumored that we won't have any big massive features for iOS 12, if they call it that.
But then doesn't that kind of go against what Apple typically does, especially with their keynotes? They say, oh, well, this is coming out, this new brand new feature. And now I'm kind of wondering if they're actually going to have anything, or it's just going to be like, hey, so yeah, we're not doing anything, we're just focusing on fixing stuff. And
then like have like a WWDC, they're just going to have like what happened last year and how they're going to fix it. And then I feel like they may reveal like an updated product or something. I don't know. I just feel like they may do it.
What are you hoping for? An updated Mac?
I would like to see an updated Mac, but I know it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen during like WWDC. It probably happen like fall. But I highly doubt that they're going to touch Mac. But I know last year at WWDC, I think they updated their iPad Pro lineup. So like they got rid of the iPad Pro that was like the 9.5 inch, and they just went to 10.5 inch. So they updated that.
Do you guys think that this might become the start of companies not really saying, hey, we're throwing new features out there, we're just going to fix stuff?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I just think it's because like last year was a really bad run for Apple software-wise, because clearly they were too busy focusing on their phone. But I feel like last year was like a bad run and they got like a lot of backlash for it. So I guess they're taking the time now to fix it since they already launched their greatest iPhone ever and raked in the sales for that. And now it's like they could settle down and like fix the issues and it's going to be like okay.
Well, I hope it's just that, and like, because I can already hear people saying how stagnant things will probably be for the next year, especially since there wouldn't supposedly be any like new features. But then again, has anything new really been exciting?
No. I'm still at that. I feel as though technology is at a standstill.
What are you talking about? We just got iPhones just got iOS just got Face ID.
Okay.
she's like so dismissive of that.
And emoji, because I personally feel as though because Face ID was just like a second option because they couldn't get the Touch ID embedded into the screen in time. I feel like they may do something that's going to revert back to Touch ID, but I'm waiting to see if they're actually going to do it and when they do it, if they do. But yeah, I just feel like that's probably their move, and I'm waiting to see if it's going to happen or not. If not, then I will accept Face ID.
I'll never accept it, but okay.
I mean, I'm probably going to update my phone in like 2 years, so like I have to get adjusted to Face ID if it's going to still be there in like 2 years.
You don't have to.
But I want a new phone.
Okay, that means you have to.
But what if the new phone only comes with Face ID? Then I'm gonna...
You could still use password. You could get another phone
but
You can go
I want
Android.
iOS. I want iOS to keep my ecosystem together.
That's nice. Eventually, when Apple dies, then what are you gonna do?
Then I'm gonna move on.
Chris is already calling for the death of Apple.
I don't know. I feel like that ecosystem that is very narrow. I strongly feel it.
Yeah, because they won't be able to keep up with Google Home and Amazon and whatever Samsung does. They just won't be able to keep up.
Yeah. So like it's only a matter of time before it dies out.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Like,
that,
they can't,
the ecosystem was strong, but people are coming up with much
yeah,
stronger.
like they can't keep strong ecosystem underneath their belt anymore.
here's the thing about that though. The HomePod, which is probably going to come out at WWDC, especially since it's supposed to be like pre-orders next month, I think.
No, this week is pre-orders. It's going to be available tomorrow, actually, for shipment.
Okay.
I think it's tomorrow.
So here's the thing. Tim Cook went on an interview recently saying that you pretty much will want to go for the HomePod because you're going to want the real difference of it is quality sound instead of teeny tiny sound coming from the competitors. But at the same point, from what I understand, the HomePod doesn't have like stereo.
Stereo.
So
I don't know how they're going to compete against the Home Max. Like, I don't like.
Yeah, because Apple kind of iffy with
the Home Max's sound is ridiculous. Not only is it really good, but it also dynamically adjusts itself based on the room that it's in because it listens to the
acoustics.
To pretty much exactly the acoustics of the room. Like that's what it does. So it's listening to what it's playing. Like that's insane. Like it's literally listening to the thing that it's playing itself. It was so crazy. Because one time I was watching a video on my phone, and from my phone it said, "Hey Google," and my phone reacted to it, and I was like, "You're playing a video. You're reacting to the video that you're playing." Oh my goodness.
Oh, so you have the Google Home Max?
No, I don't have the Google Home Max. It was on my phone.
Oh.
Yeah, because my phone responds to "Hey Google."
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, so I mean it's very responsive, so it's gonna be interesting. I don't see how the HomePod is gonna be able to compete with the Max.
Yeah, I don't see it. Well, it's actually correction. I think it's coming out. It's coming out next week to show off a status because it says 2.09, so next week. But I'm actually interested in seeing like sound quality, and they're gonna do like Google. The Google Home against HomePod test. So I'm interested in seeing that because I don't strongly feel as though the sound quality is going to be amazing simply because their track record. Apple's AirPods, like what you plug into what you plug in by analog, though the sound quality of that weren't really like amazing. Like it's possible. AirPods, the same way. The sound quality isn't amazing, but it's not the worst sound that you could hear. It's like it's kind of on that like line where it's possible. It's okay. It's acceptable. And I feel like the HomePod will be at that same level. I feel like a lot of people that's actually going to purchase it are going to be Apple sheiks that can't let a product go. That they have to have the product. Yeah. I have to have the product, but I'm not going to get it now. I'm probably going to get it later when I actually have a home to put it in. But I'm going to get it later. And maybe by then, they may update it and it's going to be compatible with more things other than just... I think it's only compatible with Apple Music and like iTunes and stuff like right now. So maybe it's going to be compatible with more things by then.
Well, it's going to definitely be interesting because of, kind of what we talked about last episode with Google already encompassing a lot of other third-party makers like JBL. JBL has been making Bluetooth and speakers on a whole for years now, and like people go to them for speakers. I mean, they may not be the top notch, but they are still one of the better ones that you could probably go to.
In terms of Bluetooth speakers, yeah, they rank in the top 5 ones that you can get easily.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I have JBL Bluetooth speakers and they're awesome.
Case in
I
point.
don't, but I've heard the quality of someone using them before, and they're really nice.
I think I have a pair or two around here somewhere. But now I want to ask you guys a question. Smartphones. We all know that the whole thing, except with the Google Pixel 2, is having dual cameras in the back. What about dual cameras in the front? That seems to be an oncoming trend now with Sony's Xperia XA2 Ultra, and that name is a mouthful. Coming out with dual front facings. There's ones from Vivo, Alcatel, Samsung, Honor, and that's just naming a few companies that are starting this out only like within the past half a year. Do you guys think that like eventually this might become a little bit much, or like, what do you guys think about front-facing cameras along with back-facing cameras having two separate ones?
It's dumb already because the Pixel already proved that it can do better photos both with a singular back camera and a singular front-facing camera than other phones that have dual cameras. So, I mean, it's already been proven that it's possible to do it with a single camera. I just think that because no one else has the same machine learning or AI as Google does, so they just can't compete on that level with a single camera. So they just have to, in order to get the same quality, they just have to go up to two. So I think us Pixel users for a while will just be the Lone Rangers with all one camera, and we're still pushing out better quality than everyone else with their dual cameras.
I actually have an issue with the dual cameras, but that's mainly because I've actually only seen, there may be more, but I've only seen like maybe one smartphone that actually did it properly, well, how I would prefer for it to be done, because like it had the dual cameras, megapixel was higher than the main back-facing camera. So like that actually makes sense, because when you go to zoom in, if you have the same megapixel as the main camera, no matter how much, like no matter how good like the quality may be, but you have like if you have optical image stabilization on both cameras, when you go to zoom in, the photo's still going to look like crap because it's going to be distorted because it has the same megapixel as the main camera. But that's my to do. I do personally love and enjoy the Google Pixel's photos. I can't lie. Every time I've seen a photo like taken from that phone, it's just like wow. I won't even lie about that. Like I'm just like wow, like this phone is amazing. But I do feel as though like I agree with Chris, and I do feel as though like at the present moment that machine learning, Google have that like on point, and like I haven't seen anybody that's able to compete with that.
Well,
but I do feel like all these like too much cameras is like they trying to strive for something, and they're trying to reach for something, but they can't really like fully grasp it just as yet, if it makes sense. So they have something in their head, like they're putting it down to execute it, but it's not coming out like how they want it to. So they're like adding extra things to see that if like when they add like certain amount of stuff, like if it's going to execute what they have in their head.
They're trying to catch up with the DSLRs, which they are nowhere near.
What
they're trying to catch up to. But every time they try to catch up, DSLRs just get better. So I don't know what they're trying to do. It's weird.
And for the most part, they seem to be like 16 megapixel on one front facing and 8 megapixels on the other. One's like a wide angle, and the other one's like ultra wide angle, however you want to call it. And it's like, okay, but why not improve the sensor? Why not improve the processing power behind it, or the software, instead of giving me like more space to do group selfies?
Yeah, because selfies, cell phones.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I don't know. I barely take photos. I barely take photos using the front-facing camera on my phone.
What were you saying, Chris?
No, I'm saying, they're all trying to make money. So, that's just it. Whatever ends up making more money, that's what they're going to put all their money into research and development. So.
And camera quality makes the most money at the moment.
Yep.
Well, saying how many megapixels you have still seems to catch quite a number of people, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But actually moving away from that a little bit, but still within the camera range, it's the speculation that the next generation of cameras essentially are going to be able to see through walls and through the human body, and I guess this is going to sound really creepy, but I guess clothes as well, in a sense. Have you guys heard about this?
We about to have like an X-ray app on our phones, but already built into the camera. That's what this sound like.
Essentially, in a sense, pretty much what it's doing is that it's using. Okay. Let me see if
I
I
don't
can
know if
break
that's
it
gonna
down.
end up in consumer hands, so
I'm not sure.
that may
Like,
just be new medical technology, but because technically we already have X-rays and stuff. But being able to do it at a lot cheaper rate and healthier without the radiation would be great.
yeah, because essentially what this is doing is using light sources to then like send reflections and everything like that, so you could see through things.
Interesting, I guess.
I think it's creepy. Like if you're using it for like consumer wise and not medical, it's kind
I
of
don't think it'll hit consumer wise.
yeah. It's going to be like invading the privacy.
Well, there are places that do stuff like that, so it's probably going to end up, yeah, probably medical. I know some governments are probably going to start using some stuff like that.
TSA.
And I mean, give it a few years once the government has it, and it's bound to go consumer at some point.
X-rays have never went consumer, so.
Well, X-rays weren't really government; they were more or less medical based. I mean, let's take a look at things that magnify sound. Originally, that was a spy device that eventually became a kid's toy that you could buy in like a cheap knockoff store, like a decade or well, actually more like 2 decades ago.
Yeah, at that time, no one cared. Like, no one still cares.
I don't know. I'm just really hoping that it doesn't get to the point where it becomes really creepy, but maybe that's just me wishing. We'll see though. But oh, that's actually the wrong thing. Have you guys heard about something called deepfakes?
Deepfakes? Nope.
Deepfakes, yes. And yes, wow. How did I pronounce your name? V1 Tuajad, I think. What the hell? But deepfakes go one step in a different kind of direction. So deepfakes are artificial intelligence made porn. They take celebrity faces, put them on porn. It can be an image, it can be a video, it can be a GIF. It doesn't matter.
Wait, hold on. I heard about this, but it wasn't a reference to porn. It was a reference to movies. It was a reference to them taking Nick Cage's face and they were just like putting him inside every single movie possible.
Yep. So this pretty much used the same technology as the porn stuff, and did with Nick Cage's face in other movies. Now, there have been places that were sharing it. Like there was a Discord channel that was doing it called Deepfakes or something like that, and Discord shut that down. There's a subreddit by the name of it. There was a user apparently who started it on Reddit by the name Deepfakes or Deepfake or something like that, and so it kind of blew up from there. And people have been using the technology to do a number of different celebrities. Everyone from Ariana Grande to like Nicolas Cage in movies. And it's very weird. I haven't really seen it, but for the examples that they showed that were safe for work, I guess you could say.
Nicolas Cage was flawless. Oh man, it was amazing.
It was
Can't wait.
really well done. Like,
can't wait.
I didn't see them.
I'm pretty sure if you just do a basic Google search, you'll probably find some, but I'm not sure you'd want to.
Find a movie where some woman dies in a horrible way and put Cersei's face on it just so I can finally watch her die.
Really, Chris? Really?
Oh, she got attracted to the show.
So tired of Cersei.
Oh my gosh. I forgot. Like, you have this fascination with not seeing her die in any of the roles that she's played.
Oh, no fascination. It's an annoyance. She has not died in any movie I've seen her in yet. Like, for real. If anyone knows a movie where, what's the actress's name? Lena Headey? If anyone knows a movie where she dies in it, I would gladly want to know that so I can watch it. Like, I really would. I just want to see her die. Because I cannot stand Cersei as a character.
Wow.
Yeah.
But then this still does run along the lines of how far is too far? Because GIFCat, which is a place that does, well, creates and stores GIF files, they're removing them from their platform. And when you take a look at their subreddit, then they're saying, like, don't post stuff here anymore, because, you know, they're removing it. And so now I think they're looking for places to host these things. But it becomes to the point where if these are so well done by AI, then how are we really going to be able to start telling what's real and what's fake? Are we going to have to listen to voices? And voices, Adobe has recently started something where you can quite literally alter something to sound like someone else. And yes, that's more for the professionals, but it's still there. Am I just getting too paranoid?
Maybe. I don't know. I feel the technology is going to take over the world eventually, but
we'll adjust. I mean, that's the one thing where humans are very adaptable. So, I mean, we'll adjust. There's going to be just how, if someone needs to determine if it's a fake or not, someone's going to figure out a way in order to do that. Like, it's just...
Yeah, they're probably going to have, like, another AI that's going to be able to detect if it's real or fake.
And it's, like, again, it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, they put your face onto a body that's not yours, and it's in porn. So, okay, what? You still haven't seen me naked. You still haven't seen my body, so who cares? Like, I mean, alright.
Yeah, but at the same point, then, when it gets to a certain level, and it's really hard to detect, which is, I think, the purpose of it, using it, because it's using, like, Lord. I forget the terminology they use for AlphaGo. A neural networking system. A deep neural networking system to continuously learn on how to improve and make these better. Then, if another AI comes along and says, hey, we're going to be able to detect you, then that AI is going to want to improve itself even more, to become even better, to be less detected.
They could be next callers.
Pretty much. But then when's the shaming going to start coming into things? And shaming's already been a thing.
What are you trying to shame?
Well, whoever's face is inside of it. I mean...
Why would they be shamed when it's not their body?
Doesn't matter. The fact is that their face is out there, which I think is the reason why places like Discord and GIFCat are removing these things. They're fine with porn, but it's faking someone's identity that comes into play.
I guess. I mean, it's putting their face on there. It's not really their identity. It's just their face. It's not acting like how they act. It's not because it's the actress has already acted it. All it's doing is taking this face and putting it onto the actress or actor, and that's about it. Like I said, you're not seeing that person's body at all, so you don't know how they look. Like, you take Emma Watson's face and you put it onto someone like Scarlett Johansson when she's doing some nude scene or whatever. Like, they have completely different body types, like completely. So, okay, big whoop. You saw Scarlett's body doing this, and then this other girl's face on top of that. Who cares? Like, I mean, it's weird and creepy. Yeah, is it like damning? Not really. I mean, it's just something it's a cool little fad, and small group of people are gonna go off on a little section on the internet, and they're just gonna do that because that's a little fetish. Like, that's it.
I guess it's kind of like that subsection of particular websites that will do like X-ray T-shirts or
yeah, it's just gonna fall. I don't think this is gonna come like world. Like, I don't think this is gonna be like widespread. I really don't.
Vicky, do you feel the same way, or?
I think it's going to be similar to what we already have now, but at like a higher advanced level. And we have now, it's just like people would see it, laugh, and like it would last like couple weeks or like a week or two, and like it just like blow away. So I think that's probably like how it will be. But at the same time, like I could get why companies don't really want them on their servers, simply because like I guess they're not interested in like the whole shaming and bullying type of situation, but they don't mind porn. So I get that. But I think that it really would just blow over and just be like how we have it now.
Jib Jab's gonna make a killing off that if they ever get it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is good use of it. So is the Nicolas Cage thing. Like, use this for good stuff.
No, Nicolas Cage is not a good use of it.
I mean, the idea behind it that you can actually just like put people into things that could maybe be funny.
Like, I'm simultaneously fascinated and pissed off that they're doing it with Nicolas Cage.
Why?
Simultaneously. Because on one hand, it's hilarious because it's Nicolas Cage. On the other hand, it's infuriating because it's Nicolas Cage. Like, I don't want to see his face. But then again, Nicolas Cage just has such a funny face. It's like, oh yeah, okay, this is hilarious. But at the same time, it's Nicolas Cage. Who wants to see Nicolas Cage's face?
So
like, you know, it's a nightmare waking up to Nicolas Cage's face.
You know what? I got something to do. That's going to be a little pet project of mine. Moving on. So Google is starting something new with Google Flights. And yes, Google Flights is pretty much their little pet project that is only within certain countries. But at the same time now, they are allowing for certain pieces of information to be found out. So like, for example, if you were to take a flight from New York to Miami or here to like the Bahamas, then it would predict if your flight is going to be delayed. And not only that, but the reason why it's more than likely going to be delayed. It is partnering up with I think it's American Delta United Airlines. And it's pretty much combing through all their records of delays and so on and so forth, putting together its own little markers to say, well, this flight is typically delayed and typically for this reason. So this is probably what's going to happen. You're probably going to be delayed by like 30 minutes or half an hour or 4 hours. Well,
it's going beyond that. It's going beyond that. Way beyond that. What it's doing is, because of how flights work, it's pretty much like a schedule. And if they know if one flight is delayed for like some random, that's why they said 80% correct. Because if one flight is delayed for whatever reason, this is a first delayed flight. Now, from the first delayed flight, there's going to be a chain reaction that happens of other delayed flights simply because that plane needs to be out of that spot for another plane to come in. That plane also needs to arrive to another airport in order to, and so not only someone has to go in, the airport that plane is going to also now has to find a space to put that because it took too long to get there. And all of that entire chain reaction, their AI can see all of that from the second one plane is delayed. It can literally detect all of that instantly because it's an AI. That's what it does. It's been studying this thing for who knows how long. So because of that, that's how it can determine delayed flights, which is ingenious, and I love it. And I'm like, yes, Google Flights become more impressive.
Must be nice.
I mean, must be nice. This is
You
something
could use Google
use
Flights, like I mean,
I
it's
could. But
like,
I want
there's no
to
Apple Flights.
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's
You don't
just
have to cheat.
buy it. It's completely free. There's really no reason not to use Google Flights.
I think it's neat because I remember back in the day, back when I had an Android and I was team Android and et cetera, and like they'd have like all my flight information. I was traveling, they'd have like all my flight information on the Google Now page. And I thought that was so cool, like how they had like everything organized just like that. So I'm interested to see how Google Flights evolve. And this feature sounds really neat. Though I don't travel as much, so I wouldn't really use it. But it does sound really nice.
I mean, it's still good
Listen,
because
my phone is telling me when traffic on the road going to work. So
I mean, not only that though. Let's say you do buy a ticket, Vicky, and you know you check this out on Google Flights. It's then going to tell you, hey, like maybe the day before or like as you're starting to go to the airport, hey, there's a high probability that you're gonna be your flight's gonna be 3 hours late. That stops you from having to feel the need to rush. Now, granted, it's only 80%, so you know that's still 20% that your flight might actually still be on time. But will you feel the pressure? Probably not.
No, I wouldn't. And I'd make sure I have everything packed up, so I know so I'd be prepared to sit in the airport and wait.
Now, there's also something else that they're doing, and I think this is kind of nice. Especially if you're trying to save money. It's that the basic economy seat, which the majority of us will probably take, it's actually going to tell you which amenities are missing from when you choose between basic fares. So, let's say if you want to buy this one on American or Delta or United, it's going to say, okay, well, this is not going to have this particular feature. You won't be able to have extended seats or like bigger seats, or you won't be able to get refreshments or this, that, or the next. So it's good to know what you're not going to get and what you're going to get.
Hey, that helps the companies more than that helps us. By far. Because all it does is say like, oh yeah, man, guess what? You could have had this if you bought a more expensive seat, but your cheap self getting end up right here with none of these stuff. Because, like, I mean, most people get tickets because they can't afford the higher ones. Because if everyone could afford first class, everyone would go in first class. So it's not because people can't. It's not because people just don't know. It's because people can't afford it. So Google telling me that this seat doesn't have this, and this isn't going to change my experience at all. All it's going to do is make me even more pissed that I can't get inside the more expensive seats. That's it. It's just going to make poor people feel even more poor.
I didn't think of it like that. That's actually, you have a very valid point.
Point.
Like, I'm not excited about that feature at all. Like, I would rather them not tell me. I know they get free alcohol in first class. Yeah, that's nice. And tell me. You need to tell me that, yeah, if I got first class, I'd have a full meal, but now I'm just getting chips and a soda. Thanks.
That's something I think I need to chew on.
Gosh.
Well, yeah, it's airplane food.
Yeah, never eat food on an airplane. Just don't do it.
Never get water from an airplane.
Yeah, if it comes in a bottle, that's fine.
No bottle, but most times they'll want to pour it. Or give you it inside, like bring it to you inside of a cup.
No.
Oh, I usually get a bottle. And if I ask you for a cup,
you be flying on.
America. I never get water, but yeah.
They've always used a bottle, and even when they give you the cup, they'll open up a bottle and pour. Like, they'll have a big bottle of water and they'll pour it out into it.
Oh, I usually have like the little small bottles, and then like if I ask them for a cup, then they bring me a cup.
Okay. Well,
Looks like, do you travel on Chris?
Delta or JetBlue.
No.
If JetBlue doesn't fly there, then Delta.
No. Hey, you travel on JetBlue as well.
I fly on whatever one's cheapest and get me there faster. To be quite
Yeah,
honest.
no, I don't do that. I can't stand American, so I can't stand American. I can't stand Spirit. Definitely not Spirit. Spirit is always the cheapest.
No. Okay. Forget that. Pause. I stopped traveling on Spirit, so that one's excluded. But
well, today in Bahamas, I cool.
Yeah, I don't travel in Bahamas either.
If you want to be late, go there. But
If
Chris,
you want to reach, though,
well,
Bahamas I can get you there. Might not be on time, but they will get you there.
Earlier this week, you pointed out something that went live, and that was Facebook Messenger ads.
Listen, if you have Facebook Messenger,
I need to go see
uninstall it right now. Just uninstall it. Use something else.
Because like mine just updated today, so it probably is there.
Just uninstall it.
Let me actually go take a look.
I'm gonna
peek
at
it. Company,
where
go on Facebook, go on your Facebook company's page and turn on the ads in Messenger. Please do it. I want to annoy everyone so everyone can get off this thing.
Where exactly is it?
No, it's right in my I open the app, and this is
right there in the contacts. Imagine your WhatsApp contacts and get pushed down and a little space for a little box to put an ad in it.
Mine
okay,
actually,
so I only seem to have
actually
one.
Isn't up. Mine still looks the same.
Scroll down a little bit.
I scrolled.
Because it's not in the first thing on mine, but
yeah, mine isn't showing up. No, because I don't use my Facebook too much.
Well, give it a little bit of time. Maybe iPhone users just have a little bit longer wait. But Android users, there's a new device that's going to be coming up shortly, and that's the Samsung Galaxy S9, which is said to be talked about and unveiled at the Mobile World Congress this month. Now, there have been a lot of different rumors about it, and the more recent one is that it's going to be using both iris and face scanners for a intelligent scan. I guess this is to combat the whole thing where they were saying, just take a picture or a video and you can unlock your face. Or maybe this is something to combat Apple's Face ID.
Like I can't take a picture of someone okay. Like they eye in the picture in the face. They know that, right? Okay. Oh, nice try, Samsung. Samsung, see, I don't really pay attention to anything Samsung puts in their phone, simply for the mere fact that they put everything in their phone because they can. What have they removed from their phone?
Huh?
What has Samsung removed from their phone?
That's
FM
a really
radio.
good question.
Nothing. Nothing.
They removed FM radio.
Yes.
Oh
yeah.
wow, FM radio. After everyone forgot that thing exists, and after everyone turned on to internet radio, everyone else is moving the headphone jack. They have removed the headphone jack. Everyone else removed the SD card and have internal storage. They haven't done that. They still have SD card slot. They just don't care. They just put everything in their phone. They add everything. Every time someone come with this, oh yeah, guess what? We can do that too. We have that in our phone. They just don't care. They're just beasting through and adding everything to their phone and not removing nothing. Nothing.
Well, I mean, there was a time they did remove
the top phones.
They did remove the SD card for
the
1 year.
SD card, and then they brought it back. I remember
because their customers complained, and they're like, "Okay, fine, I want it."
That's happening when you have customers that living in the Stone Age.
Oh no, that's what happens when the company actually cares about their customers. I wonder who doesn't care about their customers.
Apple, it's clear. It's no one. It's like you take what they give you. If you don't, then go purchase a new product.
Yep, pretty much. So y'all say in your abusive relationship. While Samsung, I don't like Samsung, but I can't hit on something. I just can't hate on them because they just do a lot of good things for their customers and people like their phones.
So there's one thing that I remembered just now is that during that whole hurricane situation that happened a few months back, because of how things were situated, people weren't able to listen to FM radios. And, everyone... Okay, here's the thing. Smartphones, even though they don't have FM radios like the apps inside there, the chips still have FM radio receivers and transmitters. They just are disabled because they want people to use data apps to listen to the radio and stuff like that. So the US government... Yeah, pretty much. The US government then said, well, you guys need to start turning these back on because in times of crisis, we need people to listen to like national news and stuff like that so they can save lives. So, I don't know, maybe even Samsung will bring back that.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know about bring back. It's there already, so they haven't removed it. It's still there. They just disabled
the feature,
it.
At least.
It's different from removing. You can go into your thing and you can enable it yourself through a command line.
I don't know.
There's one other thing that they... Sorry, go on.
I like satellite radio. I'm not really a big FM person over here. So if it ain't on the internet and if it ain't satellite, then I probably won't listen to it. I'm going to listen to it on my phone.
Hurricane hit shore and internet out. Satellites can't get none because it's cloudy hurricane over you. And they're trying to tell this area to evacuate. And guess who don't have FM radio and guess who can die? You.
I like it with my parents. My parents probably would have it on. And I'm just going to be in my room. Then they're going to tell me, I need to evacuate.
Now, you're not going to always live with your parents. What happened when you leave and you start living on your own? Then what?
Then I'll have it there for emergencies. It's not going to be like my sole
you can forget. You can forget. And you can be like, oh, this FM radio. I don't need this FM radio. Then hurricane come and you be like, oh, I should have bought that FM radio. Now we going complete darkness. We don't know. Or let me text and see, what's going on and what happened. That's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to resort to texting. And that's if BTC towers stay up and don't fall down, and then you lose coverage completely. Then that's another issue.
Kind of has a point.
Yeah, you have a point.
But you don't do FM. That's true.
I don't.
True.
In my
enabled, like that's the whole point. Like it should be enabled.
Yeah, but in my day-to-day life, it wouldn't be like my go-to. It would be like, okay, I have it here if I need it.
That's fine.
But if I don't, then so
but you shouldn't be like whatever because I don't use it in my day-to-day. Because the point is, in times of emergency, you will need it, so they should have it activated.
But what about later on in lines, in times of emergency, if we already increase our technology, we don't need FM radios anymore? How do you know if I'm thinking about that?
Technology has already increased, and the point is that they can knock down or they can easily disrupt the technology that we have now. Internet can easily be disrupted. Power can easily be disrupted. So one thing that stays true and is hard to disrupt is FM signals.
It's ancient technology?
If, for lack of better wording, then I guess, yeah.
I'll come back again.
The fax machine, that's ancient.
Yeah.
The fax machine existed before the telephone. Think about that.
I think a handful of people still use them.
Too many over on this island.
Too much.
Every business have to have a fax, but it's like no way. Like throw this in the garbage, way.
This island is based on ancient technology. I'm convinced.
Right?
Because people don't want to get rid of things.
Like a stone tablet and chisel.
Wow. Really, guys?
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Okay. Let's move away from ancient technology a little bit. Here's the futuristic. Samsung is supposedly coming out with the Galaxy X this year. Yeah, I'm already hearing it. Oh, it's another iPhone X knockoff. But apparently it's going to be a foldable phone, so it sounds like they're finally coming out with maybe one of their concept devices from a few years ago.
I want to see this. I really want to see how they execute this foldable phone.
I really don't care anything about fold. Like, everyone's still excited about foldable phones, and I'm just not. Like, I'm really not. Like, I don't care. It's like, oh, it's a foldable phone. Okay.
I just want to see how they execute it.
Who cares? Like, I don't want to have to pick up my phone and flip it back over. Like, we've been there. We've done that. No, let's go to just... We're on touchscreen now, where I could just pick up my phone and start interacting with it, like, right now. I don't have to do anything to it. And then it's like, oh, but then you go flip it open and turn it tablet. I don't want a tablet. I want a phone. That's it. I don't want a tablet. So, nah, like, miss me with that too. So, yeah. I mean, it's great for some people. I get why some people like it, but me, not interested at all. I don't care. People are like, oh, it's the next phone of the future. No, it's going to be a niche product. And there's a few people are going to get it, but practically, I just don't see it being useful at all.
The damn giant tablets, phones that lasted, like, couple months, and after a while, like, people slowly progress back into like the traditional phones that could fit in at least one palm of your hand.
Yeah, pretty much. And like, having that much screen, like, I mean, we don't even have the battery in order to deal with the one screen we have now, and now y'all want to have 3? Oh, no, no way. Don't make any sense.
Now, I'm just honestly hoping it's nothing like the LG Flex, where it's just a little flexible, you can bend a little bit.
It's gonna be like the Note 6. What was that, the Note 7? Whichever one.
Note 7. Because the Note 6, there was actually...
A poor phone, man.
I mean, it's a foldable phone. What you can do with this battery bay? Like, I mean...
No, for real?
Either your battery is going to be smaller, or your battery could be folding. And if that thing folding, man, I can't wait for the Note 7 2.0.
Because Samsung just getting over their whole exploding battery situation. They're about to go play around with this foldable phone.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's right. Okay.
I can't wait to see. I'm more excited now to see.
Yeah,
they say that they have the industry-leading battery checks now.
That's nice. They had to. No one else had battery checks except Samsung.
Well,
do battery checks. Samsung does.
I mean, it doesn't seem a little odd that maybe other places should start doing these, because
they don't have exploding phones.
Apple just had a phone that exploded in the Apple Store, a display device that exploded and caused a fire in the Apple Store.
Because Apple users get a phone. That phone could literally get up, grow legs, shoot their mummy, and they'll still buy an Apple phone. It don't matter. Like, it don't matter.
I must admit, Apple has some really loyal fans. I have to admit that.
It don't matter how Apple phones blow. No one cares.
Their fan base is so loyal, but at least it's like one out of a bunch of phones. It isn't like how Samsung went in a whole epidemic and like their phones just blowing up left, right, and center.
Wow.
She can try to throw as much shade as she wanted at Samsung, but I gotta say, Samsung lost people because of that. No one, Apple ain't gonna lose no one for no exploding phone. Don't matter. Who cares? Apple will never do any battery checks. That'll never happen.
Apple will say that it happened because someone plugged something incorrectly or used some third-party product. They will make sure it's not on them.
This person had a fever, so their hand was abnormally hot. And they also had this other sickness that was going around, which is very rare.
They'd have one backstory down pack and ready to go.
They'll make that thing sound so complicated. Like, listen, and because of that, they was walking in these funny type material shoes where generated static, and then the static come, and so the combination of the heat plus the static, listen.
Plus their hands are sweaty.
Exactly. All this.
But there's a new king, actually. Samsung is now the new chip maker king in the world. He's actually dethroned Intel as being the top chip maker. And I mean, it's not surprising considering that, you know, they've been selling to places like Apple for a long time now, and now they're really going into high drive with smart everything, aka smart things, technology, and so on and so forth.
I mean,
But
Intel will be fine. I don't really think LG cares that much, but they will. Samsung probably might start biting into Intel's market with chips, simply because that Lenovo laptop is running a Qualcomm processor. So, if people actually start putting in processors that are really meant for smartphones inside laptops, which I am all for, and I'm not against at all, because that way they can add in like a built-in LTE card, which would be amazing. If people start doing that, I'll be all for it, and that will really take a chunk out of Intel's market share when it comes to laptops. PCs, they'll always be fine. Like, there's no one who's ever going to put a computer chip inside of a PC. Like, no one's going to do that. That's ridiculous. But in terms of laptops, it's very possible. We might see that.
Well, aren't there more laptops now than towers?
Tab what? Stone
Than
tablets?
Towers.
Oh. Not really, no. I would say I think they're about equal. Because most professionals, well, not professionals, but like if you're trying to do serious work, you need a tower.
No, I know a lot of businesses, like, okay, let's use some of the businesses here in the Bahamas. The more high-end ones and whatnot, they typically have
tower. And even the businesses who give their employees laptops, it's not that many businesses who do that. A lot of businesses, like, if the only time you really do that is if they don't have like a permanent station, like they're very mobile, then you get them a laptop. But most businesses, I mean, if their employees stationary and not moving much, they don't give them laptops, they just give them a desktop.
Okay. Now, there is a beast of a phone that's coming out. And I am both excited and a little afraid because I'm hoping that it actually is true. Now, this is one by the same company that did the on-screen fingerprint sensor back in CES earlier this year.
Oh my goodness.
Vivo. Their new X-Play 7 phone. It is said to have 10 gigs of RAM, 512 gigs of storage, and a 4K curved display. What the hell is going on there?
Too much for my life.
Anyway, so I'll be moving to Korea. Anyone know any job postings in Korea? Let me know. So I can apply for it, move there. That'll be great. Because all these, like, the best phones are coming out in China. Like, just sounds so. The best ones are coming out in China. Like Oppo, Vivo, Xiaomi. I mean, these are great phones, and they're not gonna ship them to the West. And now Huawei just pretty much banned. Huawei was like wants to be everywhere. Huawei's like, yeah, we'll go anywhere. And the US is like, yeah, we don't want you. Huawei's like, what? Oh well.
Is that why we have so much Huawei phones over here?
No, we don't have the Chinese connection. We don't have the Chinese connection.
No. And that's more, they're saying no because, yeah. It was just, I think, quite literally just Huawei.
Yeah, Huawei was in the US too, so.
Yeah, but then the US got paranoid because they say they have Chinese connections to the government. Well, connections to the Chinese government.
Yeah.
So they want to get everything.
Connections to the Chinese government. Everyone from China just connects to the Chinese government. They're so paranoid.
Here's the thing, though. The US government borrows money from China. They have a Chinese government connection. So, yeah.
At least Chinese government ain't racist.
Oh my.
Well, we're not sure of that. Don't you remember that commercial that they did with, like, putting the black guy inside the washer, and then he came out like Chinese?
Okay.
It's not like that Dove commercial scandal.
Yeah.
The Dove commercial scandal was bigger than the Chinese one. I can tell you that much.
No, I mean
Chinese people are just
that was also in China. That was the Chinese Dove commercial.
yeah, but the Dove commercial was a bigger scandal than the Chinese one, is what I'm saying.
Hmm.
I'm not saying it wasn't a scandal. I'm saying the Dove one was a way bigger of a scandal than the Chinese thing. Everyone was like, "Oh man, can you believe the Chinese?" And I'm like, it's the Chinese. Who cares? Like, I mean,
Like brushing off, like, oh, okay, whatever.
They just, I mean, how many black people are in China?
Well, I know there are some that, well, there are a number of people who are from the Bahamas that go over there to study and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that black people aren't there, but when you compare it to the total population of China, like the percent of black people inside China is so minuscule. So
Yes.
they won't really like be like, oh man, like black people aren't really vocal there. Versus America, where black, like, I mean, come on, y'all. First of all, y'all know what black people are because y'all brought black people to your country in the first place. So yeah, it's a big difference. It's a huge difference in my opinion. Like China, you could chalk it up to ignorance. Like you really could. America, you can't because they know what they're doing.
Fair enough. And our last topic for the night. How do you feel about talking to Amazon Echo and saying, you know, go and text someone from, if you have an Android device, of course. That's essentially what's happening. If you have an Amazon Echo device and you have an Android device, you can say, go and text Chris. And it'll send a text message from my phone to Chris. So I'm not sure if it's only US.
Am I going to tell it what to text or just like automatically going to say like...
What's incredibly sad is that Google Home does not do this. Yet, Google Assistant on your phone does do this. That is incredibly sad. Like, that is incredibly sad. Like, Google Home, like, literally is the same software. Literally the same software. I can talk to my phone right now and tell Assistant to send it. I can tell my Assistant to send a WhatsApp message to anyone in my WhatsApp list. Not even text, WhatsApp. So I can tell it to send a message over Skype. I can tell it to send a message over any messaging app on my phone, and it will do it. And it'll ask me, hey, what message you want to send? I have the contact here. Tell me the message. I'll say the message, and it'll be like, okay, here's what I have. Can I send this? And I just tell it yes or no, and then it sends it. Amazing. Yet Google Home doesn't do it. Crying shame. Crying shame that Alexa got it first before Google Home.
Amazingly lazy. That's all it is.
Yeah,
not really. I mean, I don't use it over like normal texting.
Wait, hold on. What is lazy? The fact that it's not there, or doing that particular?
Using your voice instead of actually.
Yeah, like if you're using it like 90% of the time, instead of like actually just picking up your phone, then I feel like that's lazy. Like I did.
I mean, the whole point of like Google Home is like, I mean, instead of getting up to turn off the lights, you telling it to turn off the lights. I mean,
yeah, that's not lazy. I don't want to get out of my bed, turn off the lights. Like, I feel that's.
But that is being lazy.
That's like the whole clap light thing that they have.
That's lazy too.
Clap lights was ridiculous. Telling your thing to turn off the lights is smart.
Yeah, I wouldn't find that to be lazy because I feel like that's just like.
That's lazy. That's more lazier than dictating a text message because you're still dictating something. That's still work.
But you're still dictating.
No. You telling something. That's like you telling someone else to go do something for you. Like turn off the light switch, babe. Like that's literally what you're doing.
But it's gonna be the same technology applies because you're gonna be telling your phone to send this message.
Yeah, but you still have to think about the message. Like there's still more work going into that because the phone is not gonna think up the message for you. You still have to do that. You still have to say, well, here's what I want to tell this person, and here's what I'm going to say. And then the phone is like literally guiding your hand and be like, okay, here's what I have. Do you want to send this? Like it's like giving you steps along the way. So you're still doing stuff. In fact, it takes longer to send a text over voice than it does for you to just pick up your phone and type. Like it actually takes longer to do that. But it's good because what it does do is like if you're driving and you can't use like true hands free.
That's like okay. Like when you're driving or like you're washing your hands and you can't like pick up your phone to like text somebody like that. That's But like if you're just laying up in bed And like you weren't interested in like
You could
picking up
be,
your
listen,
phone.
you could be
That's
bed
so
bound, but like,
lazy.
listen, there might be emergency. Your phone might be across the way, or you might not have your phone on you, and you may need to send this important text out right now. Alexa, right there. Hey, Alexa, send this to so and so.
I want you to know I pictured the I falling
I did
can't get
too.
up commercial.
I did too. I did too. I didn't want to say it.
Oh,
I felt
man.
horrible thinking it, but that is exactly where my mind went. Like, even the voice and everything. Help, I'm falling. I can't get up.
Can't get off. It's so
Oh my
amazing that
gosh.
commercial is so old, but it's like already embedded into our head.
Sick. Terrible people. Terrible.
Head on. It's
Terrible.
to apply directly to your head. Head on. You apply
Terrible.
directly to... It's commercials like that that just like stick in your head.
Head,
I don't
yeah.
I don't think kids like nowadays see those commercials anymore. It's kind of sad.
I don't know, because I don't watch TV. They might.
Yeah, I don't watch TV either.
Neither do I.
Well,
Well, anyway, that's it for this week's episode of Tech Talk. Be sure to join us next week for Esports Wrap on Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Tech Talk again on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Or listen to us on our podcast. You can pretty much go anywhere to listen to it. Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, anywhere. And you can also go on YouTube. So feel free to go there and search for more cookies. You find us. So I'd like to thank everyone that's actually been watching. And I'd also like to thank the one person that actually said what the hell in chat.
what a hell.
Oh, what
What
a... Yeah,
the hell? What a hell?
you're right. What a hell.
Dot,
And,
dot, dot.
and my two co-hosts coming on the show, Vicquell and Chris. So until next time, take care.